Hello. Welcome to day 24 of 365 days live with New. I am coming to you from my patio, porch, whatever you call this little area out here. And today is Go Me Club Day, which is every Friday I talk about the little celebrations that I have noticed over the week, or for example, this week I've been noticing them, but I haven't been writing them down. So this is going to be the time where I sit down and reflect and share with you, and vice versa. I would love to hear your shares as well. So put them down in the comments. Say hello as you are logging in or catching me live, or if you're watching the replay, let me know down below as well. I would love to know when you are logging in and when you're tuning in. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the Go Me Club celebrations, and then I'm going to go into the big aha moments. And if you watched yesterday's live, you know one of those moments. It's about relationships and human design. I'm so excited to share with you. Okay, so let's get started. So like I said, I did not write anything down, so this is going to be me processing in real time. Okay, one thing that I know for sure that I want to celebrate myself for is yesterday I went to get my fiance's tires we got new tires, and while I was waiting in the lobby area, just chilling, I just had thoughts come into my mind of I started thinking about my business, and I started thinking about the offers that I have, or the lack of offers that I've been doing, and also I was thinking about the pricing of my offers. And then I started thinking about my big goal, my big vision to reach thousands and thousands of people with my message and with my coaching. And it started feeling overwhelming again. I was telling my Robert yesterday that I felt like a cloud was heading my way, and I saw the cloud, and I was I stopped myself in the moment, and I'm just so proud because I saw it coming. And that's the thing, is when we realize patterns that we do, if we're aware of it, we can stop it, nip it in the bud, and just stop it and alter your perspective and alter your train of thought to something different. You don't allow the energy to go there. You don't allow the cloud. So for me, I saw the cloud coming towards me, and I just turned and walked the other way, right? So that the cloud doesn't come. And I realized that I did that after I did it. I didn't, it was subconsciously, I guess. In the moment I realized that, oh no, I'm going down a not healthy path. And so I took myself out of there. I just took myself, turned around, and I went, and I literally left the lobby, not just in my head, but I literally left the lobby, went outside and started walking. I put on an empowering message or a podcast. I'm tapped in. I'm subscribed to a human design teacher, and so she drops in golden nuggets of wisdom and stuff like that. And so I always love listening to things like that. And so I was this is a perfect moment to shift from that the dooms generator aspect of my mind into allowing myself to be taking in something very empowering and uplifting. So I walked outside of the lobby. I tuned into the podcast. I just put it in my ears. I had my headphones on, AirPods on, and I just started walking and just started listening to her. And then before I knew it, I was out of it. I wasn't stressed out. I didn't allow myself to get to a place of overwhelm. And I want to celebrate that because, go me, it takes so much courage and power and awareness to realize where your brain, where your mind is taking you, and just to reel it back and direct it somewhere else. That just shows like the progress and the power that I am learning to cultivate and use and embody, right? Embodiment is so different than just knowing something. And that's why I always say knowledge is not power. Knowledge is potential power, right? Because if you don't do anything with that knowledge, then it's not useful at all, right? You can share all you want, and yeah, maybe it might help other people, but your knowledge needs to be put into action. It needs to be embodied. So that's one thing for sure that I want to celebrate myself for, and I'm gonna write down. I have not written it down. Another thing I want to celebrate is I magnetized another client, human design client. So I will be doing a reading for her next week. So excited because my human design offers that I was doing at the beginning of January this year are now not available anymore. I am doing just a simple human design reading. It's one session as of right now for someone who's like not sure, but they know they're interested and they just want to learn more, but they're interested, right? There needs to be that interest and that excitement and that desire to learn. Then I give you the link. So right now the link is not public, but you can message me and I will give you the link if you are interested. And if you know that you resonate with what I say and how I say it, then I would love to share that link with you and we can have the session. As of right now, the session is $111. I love angel numbers. So yes, that human design reading is in there, and that is that. But yes, I want to celebrate that human design client for next week. That is another celebration for sure. Other celebrations. Oh, I want to celebrate today. I was able to get my car back, so I was able to go do some errands, return some things, and that feels so good to have that like done and just completed with it. Just, and I'm proud of myself that when I did not have my car and I wasn't able to go do that errand, I didn't let the pressure get to me, right? Because as an undefined root center design, I can sometimes I can allow the pressure to get to me. So I'm really proud of myself for that as well. What other things? There's a lot of human design things that I'm gonna be celebrating, but I'm trying to think of other things. Oh yeah, I want to celebrate myself for calling my mom, and we had an hour-long conversation, and it was just really good because our parents are getting older, and I haven't always had the best relationships with my parents. I talk a lot more with my mom than my dad, but I realized this week that they're old. Like, they're getting older, and like in my head I thought that they were still like 55 and 53, and in reality they're like 4 years older. And I was talking to my mom and I was like, wow, you guys are old. And she's like, yeah, and you're getting older too. And I was like, yeah, I know. But yeah, so I got to talk with my mom, and that was really good, really nice. So I want to celebrate that, having that bonding time with my mom. Let me see. Is there anything else that I want to celebrate myself for that's not related to human design? I think as it comes up, I will share. But yeah, those are just a few things. And then, of course, then there's the human design stuff, which this week I have been, or more like just the past 2 days, I have been really in my hermit mode and really in this deep desire to learn and deep desire to deepen my knowledge of human design. So I've been studying, and I've been like doing so much stuff, which have all been really led by my sacral, And that's how I had the energy to like go. Like yesterday, I probably studied for like 10 hours, like literally, like I was just going on, and like towards the end of the night, I felt depleted by like, you know, by 6 o'clock I was depleted, so I stopped. But yeah, I've been learning about so this week what I want to celebrate is that like just the awareness, like the actual awareness, and then the embodiment and the application of human design with my partner. So if you were on the live yesterday, you know that I I saw how my partner's, Robert's profile, his 5-1 profile, I saw how hello, if you are catching me live, say hi in the comments. I'm just about to share some human design celebrations for the Go Me Club. Yeah, so I want to celebrate that. I noticed how the problems in my relationship with my fiance have been due to his line 5 projection profile, and that was so helpful. Like it was helpful not only for me but for him too, for both of us to realize like, hey, this is the dynamic and this is what is happening, and he is able to realize that and see that and make sense of why he has felt so misunderstood all of his life. And that's just so beautiful, because once you're aware of it, then you are able to have compassion for other people and yourself, and realize that it's not you, it's just your energetic field that attracts those kind of things into your life, and then you can better navigate it. And so that 5-1, or mainly the line 5 profile, was a really big thing that I want to celebrate. And I also want to celebrate that like I've always wanted to like sit down with Robert and go over his human design, but it was never the right timing. Like for me, human design, like my energy works best if you, and I'm sure a lot of people also work like this, but like my energy works best when I'm sharing your human design with you and you are like eager to learn, you are interested, you believe in the system and what it has to offer, right? I don't do well with skeptics at all. Like I'm like, okay, if you don't want to learn, then like don't book a call with me, right? If you're skeptical, I can't deal with the energy. My 2-4 is like no, right? So I had to learn that. I learned that pretty recently. So I never wanted to do that with with Robert. Like if he wasn't interested, if he didn't really believe in it, then I didn't want to push it on him, right? And so I want to celebrate that last night we actually had kind of like a mini reading where he was like interested. He was like, hey, like tell me about this. What is that? Like, what does it mean to have that, you know? And so we went all in, like we looked at most of his gates, and it allowed me to share with him, and it allowed me to actually like say out loud, like for me in human design, I'm a split definition, which means that I actually need to talk with someone else to really process and get my ideas together. And so as I was talking to him and sharing with him, I was realizing all these things about him that you know lives in our subconscious and like is happening, right? Our energy is just out here, but when you bring attention to it, you bring your energy and focus into it, you realize it, and it comes to the forefront once you put your awareness to it, right? And it becomes conscious. And I realized I learned so much about him, and like an interesting thing that I learned about him is we have a lot of gates that connect to each other, and we form channels together, and that's very beautiful, because when you have a gate on one side and you don't have the other gate, because every gate has a gate on the opposite end, and if you don't have the opposite end, you will see a half gate. It's called a hanging gate, and that it's like it goes but it stops in the middle because it is reaching for what it doesn't have. And so Robert and I, we have a lot of those, and which is really nice, because then we complete each other's energies, and together we form a strength, a channel. Okay, and so that's what I realized. And I also realized that I have we only have 3 gates that are the same, like that are defined. That's crazy. Like I never thought of that. I never saw that. I never realized that. But through speaking with him and giving him a little mini reading, I realized that, like, whoa, like, he has all these strengths that are, like, that I don't have. Like, we only have 3 in common. Like, if you know human design a little bit, that is wild. So I just loved that because that's so important, because then I now know why we are so different. Because I've always told him in the past, we're so different, right? We are very different. Like, I've always told him that. But when I look at our designs, I'm like, yeah, right here. This is how we are different, and it's just so beautiful. So I'm starting to lean more and more into human design and connecting it with relationships and looking at 2 people's chart. That is so fun. So if you are interested in that, oh, I will be all over that. Like, if you have someone's chart who you want me to read, and if you have their permission to do so, I would love to do a reading where we look at different, like, you and someone else's chart, and be able to compare it and be able to see, like, where your energies are in resonant with each other, or where you guys have opposing energies. Like, oh, it'll be so fun. So I am celebrating that I am finding a whole new angle and a whole new way of embodying human design and actually applying it to my relationship. So good, so good. And one more thing that I want to share about my human design with Roberts is that when you are with someone else who completes your channel, when you do that, it lights up the whole energy center. And so I feel like I wanna, other than just this live, I feel like I wanna make a whole YouTube video, maybe, we'll see, about how we light up each other's energy centers, because Robert and I are both sacral beings. He's a generator, I'm a manifesting generator. But when we're together, so we don't have our emotional center defined, okay? But when we're together, we light up each other's emotional center. That means that when we're together, we're actually emotional beings, emotional manifesting generator and emotional generator. That means our emotions are our own emotions. It's hard for us to feel each other's emotions. We are so contained in our own feelings that it's harder to listen and feel the other person, because we define each other's emotional center, which also means that we are very emotional beings when we are together. And we can, that is why we have always had very emotional highs and emotional lows. And it's if you're an emotional authority, you are never meant to make decisions in the moment, and you are never meant to trust your I don't want to say yourself, but you don't want to trust the emotions and make a decision from that emotion in the moment. And learning that, oh my God, like, if you're in a relationship, that makes sense, right? Sometimes we make decisions in the moment because we feel a certain way. And sometimes it's aligned for some authorities to make in the moments according to their sacral authority in the moment decisions. But if you are with someone and you both then, like, say, I want to explain this to make sure it makes sense, is when I'm alone, I'm a sacral. When Robert's alone, he's a sacral. But when we're together, we become an emotional being, emotional generator, emotional manifesting generator. And therefore, we can no longer trust the now, right? Because an emotional being, you can never make decisions. You can never trust in the now and how you feel. And now that I know that, like, and we both know that, then we can be aware of, like, okay, we need to let our emotions settle before we make a decision, or before we can trust how we feel. And yeah, so I just have all these things that are, like, lighting up in my head, and I'm like, I didn't have to do anything really. Like, I didn't have to, like, force these insights, right? For me, I have the gate of insight, and sometimes I feel like I need to, like, figure things out. I also have the gate of why, that I need to figure things out, and I need to, like, have all these new insights, but I don't. And what's funny, and I feel like this is one of the very first few times where I feel like I was just being, and this is crazy because the beingness is part of my radiance, which is part of my gene keys. I'm like going totally on a tangent here, so if you're getting lost, I'm sorry, but it's just like making sense to me right now of like beingness will allow everything to come, because that's how that's me, like that's my purpose. That's like, yeah. So gene keys is another one, but through my beingness, I will get the insights, I will get the answers in the right timing, in its own timing. And that's exactly what happened this week. Like, I didn't push anything. I was just going with what lit me up, and answers started coming in, insights started landing. I started being able to apply things that I wasn't able to apply in the past, because in the past I tried, but it didn't work. So when I didn't try, it all landed. And so it's just, I just love it. And so I want to share what I love. That is what a big part of what I'm here to do. As a line two, we share what we're passionate about. So if you have a line two, you have to speak on what you're passionate about. You have to do what you're passionate about. Even if it's not for your job, you have to do something that you're passionate about. And because lines twos, it's all about our self-expression and expressing what we're passionate about. Okay, so I assume you can tell that I'm very passionate about human design and how we can use it to better our relationships and just understand our relationships on the human plane, the 3D reality that we live in. So I know that went kind of like on its own tangent. That's why I had to do the Go Me Club celebrations first, and then go into the Go Me human design celebrations, because there's a lot. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you today. Let me know in the comments what you are celebrating yourself for. Again, I'm gonna bring it back into you, right? I want you to think about, hey, like, what's one small thing you can celebrate yourself on for this week, for today, for yesterday? Just find one, even if it's like, oh, I ate like healthier today, like I ate an apple yesterday, right? It doesn't have to be anything big, but you need to build. It's those small steps. Start building small habits, small changes, small celebrations. And because as humans, we thrive on that affirmation in the moment, right? So don't wait until you have a really, really big thing to celebrate, right? Celebrate now, so that you're grateful and you're happy and you're feeling fulfilled and accomplished on the way, so that when you reach your big goal, like, you have a whole bunch of things that you've celebrated up to that point, right? Because I don't know who said this, but it's always about like, you want the journey to feel like how you want the destination to feel, right? You don't want the journey to be like terrible. You don't want it to feel exhausting and challenging and frustrating, and then expect the destination to feel joyful, right? It doesn't work. If you want to be joyful or at peace, let's say at peace, along the way, you have to find pockets of peace as you're working towards that end goal of being peaceful, right? So the journey has to be to feel how you want the destination to feel. Okay, so share with me your celebrations. I would love to hear. And today is Friday, so tomorrow I'm going to go babysit my nephew. My sister's birthday was yesterday, and so they're going on a little getaway, which is amazing. I think all couples need time alone, no matter what time stage of in their relationship they are in. That's so important to keep that alive. So I'm so happy for them. So I'm gonna go babysit my nephew with Robert and my sister. It's gonna be so fun. And yeah, so that's gonna be my weekend, and maybe you'll see him on my live tomorrow. But if not, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day and a weekend, and I will see you when I see you next. But don't forget to share one of your celebrations down below. so I can help celebrate and support you and encourage you and empower you along the way. All right, until next time, have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, bye.